My love for carrot cake goes all the way back to when I was 15 years old working at a country club in St. Louis. Our pastry chef Mary would make the most beautiful 3-layer carrot cakes, absolutely gorgeous. But I'm 15 years old. I'm like, why would I eat a cake with carrots in it? Made no sense to me. Once I tried it with that cream cheese frosting, oh my gosh, still to this day, one of my all-time favorite cakes. And she never put any fruit or raisins like that in there. Her train of thought was to let all those natural flavors shine on through. I'm gonna show you my foolproof version to make the most delicious, moist carrot cake ever. Here's the first trick. We need to toast up some walnuts. So we are gonna add 1.5 cups of halved walnuts right to a non-stick skillet. We're going over to our cooktop. We're going to turn the heat to low medium. We want to cook them for 5 to 7 minutes while occasionally stirring. Toasting these walnuts will help add flavor to the carrot cake and also help keep it moist. When they're raw, they draw out too much moisture and you have a dry cake. They will become lightly brown and definitely fragrant. At this point, we want to remove them from the heat. We're transferring them back over to our countertop where I have a food processor. We're going to scrape all of that goodness in there. Let's put the top on. What we're looking to do here is just pulse it. We want to roughly mince it, okay? If all you have is a knife, no problem at all. Once it gets to this consistency, this is perfect. Set it to the side because we don't need it until later. Now, for the carrots. I like to do this just like I like to do cheese, right on a piece of parchment paper so it's easy to transport. I need 4 cups total, which is really about 5 to 6 medium-sized peeled carrots. Now, you definitely want to do it on that fine grate side of your box grater because smaller shredded carrots are perfect to incorporate that flavor throughout the entire batter as opposed to having big old carrot chunks. In a stand mixer or even a large bowl with a whisk or even with some electric beaters, we are going to add in 6 large eggs, followed up with 2 cups of oil. You can use any neutral flavored oil. Now, if this freaks you out because it's too much oil, replace one of those cups with 1 cup of whole fat yogurt. Next, we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Going to fix the whisk attachment. What we want to do is turn the speed to low, medium, somewhere in that range. We want to get it nice and pale yellow and combined just like this. At this point, we are going to come back and add in 1.5 cups of packed light brown sugar, followed up with 1 cup of sugar. Let's turn the speed up a little bit higher. Perfect. Now at this time, we need to mix our dry ingredients. I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to add in a ½ teaspoon of sea or kosher salt, followed up with 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Next, I have a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg and 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Now, using a whisk, we just want to mix it until it is completely combined and any large flour chunks are broken up. Let's go over to the stand mixer. Turn the speed down to low. This is crucial unless you want flour flying out of that mixer. Gently and slowly pour this in there. Now the goal here is to mix it until it is just combined. You do not want to overmix anything. This looks perfect. Let's give it a quick stop, pull up. We have a couple more things to add. Go and grab 1 cup of those roughly minced up toasted walnuts, add those in there. And then let's add those carrots in there. Oh my gosh, it's stuck. Sorry, forgot to take the whisk off. Come on, get in there. Okay, perfect. All right. Now we're going to put down the end there. And what we want to do is just mix it again, just until combined, very similar to adding in the dry ingredients on low speed so nothing flies out of there. This looks absolutely perfect. So at this point, remove it and simply set it to the side. Now remember, I said Mary made 3-layer carrot cakes, and that's what we're going to do. So I have 3 9-inch cake pans. What we're going to do is spray each one with a little bit of non-stick spray. And in tradition of my old chef, Chef Barbini, you spray and you add parchment paper to everything and you spray some more. I don't even care. I'm sticking with it because it always works. After those little parchment rounds, we're going to add a little bit more non-stick spray. Now, evenly dividing the batter, it's about 2 heaping cups each to each cake pan. Just evenly spread the batter in between all of them. Don't forget though, there's a lot of good stuff in that bowl. So go back, get yourself a rubber spatula and scrape all of that goodness evenly into each cake pan. And what I like to do at this point is just give it a few knocks, sort of settle everything, make it nice and flat. We are going over to the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit in the middle rack, always the middle rack. It takes just about 30 minutes on the dot for these to completely finish cooking. One of the biggest keys in maintaining moistness in cake is not overcooking it. So many people think, oh, I pulled it out of the oven, it's done cooking. No, you need to account for carryover cooking, and oftentimes it can go past the point you want. So once you stick a toothpick in the center after that 30-minute time, if it comes out clean, boom, you're good to go. Pull it. Clean as a whistle, absolutely perfect. Let's remove the pans and set them on a cooling rack. Takes about 15 minutes for them to completely cool. Do not worry if the center gently starts to fall. We'll fix it later. After that 15-minute period, they'll come back and remove them from the pan. They'll be decently cool. We need to get them cool to room temperature, which takes about 60 to 90 minutes. And now, of course, the hardest part, the waiting game. But this is a great opportunity to make that tasty, coveted cream cheese frosting. In a stand mixer or with some electric beaters, we are going to add in soften. Very crucial here, soften 2 sticks of unsalted butter. Next, 16 ounces of softened cream cheese. We're going to fix the whisk attachment because it is softened. Can't say it enough. We are going to mix it on medium speed for about 3 to 4 minutes. We want to get it nice and light and fluffy, just like this. Also make sure it's smooth. That's why soften is key. Now adding about a cup at a time with the speed on low, add in 4 cups total of powdered sugar. I do this on slow speed so that things don't blast out of there like crazy. And before you know it, you're gonna have powdered sugar all over the place. Once it is in there, we can crank the speed on a little bit more to high. Next, we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and it's just good practice, no matter what you have in a stand mixer, is to come back every minute or so and scrape. Just like they said in culinary school, stop it and scrape it. Perfect. Get it back down and mix everything in there until it is combined. And then at this point, we're good to go, okay? Let's remove the whisk attachment, give it a few knocks, use a rubber spatula to get all that goodness off of there. You're going to need every last drop of this to ice the cakes. Then we're going to set it to the side until our cakes are completely cooled down. When it comes to icing a cake, you have a countless number of options. Here is the way that I do it because, well, this is the way I've always done it. And here's why it doesn't matter if the center dips as long as it's cooked. We are going to slice off the top because we want everything to be perfectly flat when putting up our layer cakes. Remove that top, eat it, throw it away, whatever you want to do with it. I like to eat it just as a little side thing there. Let's grab out our cream cheese frosting. Looks perfect. A little trick here. We're going to take about a tablespoon or so and put it right onto our cake turntable. If you have one of these, amazing. Such a huge lifesaver. Next, we're going to add on a 9-inch cardboard round. We're going to press it on there so it stays. That's the whole point of the frosting going on first, so that everything stays put. Now, let's grab that first layer, put it right on there, center it up. That's very important when it comes to using a cake round and turntable. Now what we're going to do is start to add on our cream cheese frosting. It takes about almost a cup a layer, maybe 3/4 cup is perfect, and you want to gently spread it on there. I was always taught in culinary school, it's like an airplane coming in for a landing. Come from the outside, gently at an angle, press down so that everything is smooth, just like this. And then we add on the next layer, and we repeat that same process. Now, this is an offset spatula. If you want to use something else, totally fine. Once we get to that top layer, we do the exact same thing until it's smooth. Now, don't worry if it's not perfect, because we'll get to a point in just a minute where we have to redo it. So let's also not forget about the sides. Add a good amount of the cream cheese frosting on the side here. And this is where the turntable is so awesome. You just put it there and you turn. Now you can also use a plastic cake style pastry knife just like this, and then just put it in place and turn that table. And this is what makes it so awesome. In fact, let's switch to slow-mo. Awesome. You can see how flat and perfect everything stays on the side and the top. That's why I said you have to redo it, because everything pushes up as you do that. Practice makes perfect here. Don't expect to be perfect on the first try, but this is one good looking cake. And no, of course not. You don't need a cake turntable or cardboard rounds. Nope, you need a cake frosting and a spoon to make it look beautiful. Now, obviously, I went the extra step here because that's how I was trained. We have a few more things to do. Grab the remaining half cup of those toasted, finely minced walnuts, and what we're going to do is just put them on there all around the sides. Does not have to be perfect, and there should be a little bit left, like about a tablespoon or so, to sprinkle on the top. This is why that cardboard round is so awesome underneath, because it makes it incredibly easy to transport right onto our cake platter. From toasting the walnuts to finely grating those carrots, it's these simple techniques that will elevate your everyday cooking. When you put them into practice over and over and over again, my promise to you is that your homemade food from scratch will be incredibly delicious. It's beautiful, it's super moist. If you like this, I can't even begin to tell you how much you're gonna like my pound cake recipe video, and I'll see you on there.